Hey everyone, figured we'd do another Tarkov economy video here. I was going through some of the barter items the other day and I realized there's quite a few items in here that folks are probably either not picking up in raid, they're just throwing them out because they don't think they're worth much, or they're selling them when they get back and there's something more they could do with them as far as value. Those 6 items are these right here that I've got shown. The strike cigarettes, the GM counters, circuit boards, the rechargeable batteries, magnets, and Nixor lenses. Now, some of this stuff people keep because it's sellable. For example, circuit boards sell from 10 to 12,000, so people keep those because they don't find anything better. Nixor lenses, everybody keeps those. You can sell those for 25, sometimes 20,000, as you're seeing here. I don't know anybody that keeps cigarettes. And the GM counters usually are not kept either because they take up 2 slots and they are only worth 18,000 usually at best, but sometimes 12, 15. And if that's the case, it's worth like 6 to 8,000 a slot. So that's not worth keeping either in most people's minds. So I'm going to show you a couple of barters with these that are going to get you a lot of bang for your buck. So the first ones we'll go is this kind of one of my favorites that I kind of stumbled across because I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's these strike cigarettes. Now you have to have them at level 4 and you have to have the Grenadier quest to unlock this. But once you get those done, you can trade these strike cigarettes for an 8-pack of 7N12. Now the beauty of this is I'm going to make this trade right now. Now the beauty of this is these strike cigarettes, even if you buy them, 7,000, 8,000, maybe 9,000 all day long. That's all they're worth. But when it comes to bartering, these 7N12 rounds are worth usually about 1,500 piece. So, quick math here. 1,500 times 8, that's 12,000 rubles. And that's if you're selling them at 1,500 a round. So your cigarettes are now worth 12,000 minus your trade fee, of course. But we'll go through here real quick and do this. So we got 10. There's a little bit of work required because you got to go through and unload all of these. But it's not too bad. Alright, so we got 80. Get rid of all these packs real quick. So we'll go sell these things on the flea market. And look, they're selling for more right now. A lot more. So you come in. Let's sell them for... Let's see. Are these budging at all? 1580, 80. So 1670. So we'll sell them for 1660. 1660. 6479 divided by 80. So you're 80 a bullet. So we're making 15. We're making 1580 a round times 80 rounds divided by 10 cigarettes. So right now that made those cigarettes worth 12,640 rubles each. And you can do this trade every time he rolls over. You can do this trade. So every 3 hours roughly. So there's one way to make some money. You can more than double your money that you spend on these, put simply, if you buy them for 6,000 to 7,000 bucks. Now the next one is the GM counter. And I wasn't keeping these for a long time until I realized there's a magazine trade out there for those. Now if you come in here to mechanic, these X14 M14 mags, these are for the M1As. You can do 5 of these every 3 hours with mechanic. Now these don't become available until you're level 4 with mechanic. You don't have to do any quests, but you do have to have him level 4. So we'll do that trade real quick. So these Geiger counters, you pick one up and you bring them in. It now makes them worth 24,000 a piece or more. I'm going to put these up for list for 25,000. And you can usually you can do these trades without even finding them. Some of these trades you can just buy these things in the flea market. Now I've seen these things upwards of 30,000 as well. Just kind of depends on the day and who's buying them. But if we go look at the counter for the Geiger counter, see they're selling them for 15.8 and they're really worth 25. So there's a quick 10,000 rubles you can make right there roughly. Now on to circuit boards. Now there's a lot of barters for circuit boards, but there's one that I like particularly the most. Now you can get these from 10 to 12,000. So say buy two of them. We'll say you have to buy two of them for 25,000, and that's just the cost. The beauty of this is with Peacekeeper at level 3, you can trade for these magazines. And with these magazines, you don't need any special quests either. You just need to do it. And there's a limit of 5. So we'll put 5 in. Takes 10 circuit boards. And now we have 5 of these. So we'll go filter by all, or filter by item. And you can see they're selling for 29,000 roughly. So that's what we'll put ours up for. 29,000. So that makes each circuit board worth roughly 14 to 15,000. Sometimes this gets up into the 30s sometimes. It just kind of depends on the day. But we'll say 14,000 for each circuit board. Now this one's an easy one. This is one you should be doing from the get-go. If you don't know about this, you've missed out. But this rechargeable battery, these things are actually worth about 22,000. And that's his level 1 trade. Right out the gate, you can trade one battery every cycle to him for this. You can sell this right to him for 22,709. So that battery right there at a minimum is worth 22,700. Sometimes the 8Rs are worth a little bit more than that. We'll go look. 22,500, 22,800. So it's not worth selling it here because that's what it costs to put them in anyways. So there you go. Your rechargeable battery is worth 22,000 minimum. 23 almost. Now, if you disassemble this and sell parts to skier, it's parts to mechanic, you'll even get a little bit more out of it. The next one is the magnet. Now, the magnet has a couple of different trades with him. The first one's pretty straightforward. It's this little rotor suppressor here, and we're going to do one trade. So you got magnets that you can buy usually 10 to 12,000, just like circuit boards, and it gives you a suppressor that's worth 29,000, sometimes 31,000 all day long for 2 of those. So say 24,000 worth of rubles to get your magnets to get 29. But really what it does is means this magnet's actually worth 15,000 for that trade right there. And if you look, you're able to do 4 of those a day. So that's, I don't ever find 8 magnets. One of the other trades that's a little bit more work, but is worth it in my opinion, is for one of the Glocks. And you're not selling the Glock straight up, though you can. But this Glock 17 Spartan right here is 2 magnets. So we buy that. And if we go to sell it just straight away, you can see it's worth 26,000. So right there, you can make money with that trade alone. And the beauty of this trade is it's unlimited. There's no limit to how many of these you can do. So you could go buy a bunch of magnets and do a bunch of these and actually increase your ability to sell. Because at the end of the day, another thing you can do is disassemble this guy. And the parts we're most worried about right now are these 3 parts. Now, I'm going to sell these to one guy just to keep the numbers straight. So we're going to sell these top parts because they're not worth much. And right there, there's 3,000 rubles. So we've got 3,000 out of this deal right now. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to sell this barrel. So it sells for 14,000. And you can see somebody here is doing a lot of this. There's 260. So we're going to come in and we're just going to sell this at 14,000 so it sells. Okay. So now we're at 17,000 for 2 magnets. Now my flea market's full right now, so we can't keep going forward until something sells, and maybe we'll get lucky. Oh, right there, barrel sold. So the next thing we'll sell is this Glock top. Now you can sell it in here. Let's say we'll sell. I'm just going to put 17,000 in here to show you guys an example. And you can put that in there and it'll sell. Or you can take this part and sell it right to skier. Pretty simply. For 15,000. Boom. Right there. Now we're at 15 plus 17,000. So we're at 32,000. And we still have the Glock bottom left. Now that sells for 3,700. You can try to sell it on the flea market for a little bit more if you want. I mean, some of these people are getting more, but you can see Mechanic is able to sell them. So, you know, sell them for 7,000. You could kind of double your money if you're up for that. And if you're selling a bunch of them, it's probably worth to do it. I'm just going to sell it to Mechanic right now to be done. So there's another 3,700. We'll round it down and say 3,000. So now we're at 35,000 for 2 magnets. That means your magnets are worth 17,500 a piece. And you can buy them all day long for 10, 12,000. So just keep that in mind with your magnets. Now the last one of these is the Nixer lenses. Now you can sell these for 20 to 25,000 yourself. So you got 80,000 right here, figure, right? So let's round up and say it's 100,000 because you're going to sell them for 25,000, not taking into account the flea market or anything like that. If you get 4 of these, you just hang on to them. They don't take up any space. You can put them in your scav junk box, and you come in once you get Mechanic to level 4. He's got an SA58 trade here, and this isn't just a regular SA58. This is a great SA58. Okay, so we have our SA58 with our 4 Nixer lenses, right? So we'll say we spent 100,000 to get this SA58 with 25,000 Nixer lenses instead of selling them. All you do, take the suppressor off, which is you sell by itself for 75,000. Right there, you've got 3 of your lenses paid for, and you still have an entire SA58 to work with. Now, you can sell this or use it if you want to, but if you're just after money, the fastest thing to do is just come straight to Mechanic and sell it to him for 70,000. So that plus that 75,000, you can do the math pretty simple. You're 146,000 rubles for 100,000, and that's all it takes. Now you can part this out and sell parts to Skier and parts to Mechanic and actually make a little bit more money, but that's entirely up to you if you want to take that level of effort. And that's what I have for you, everybody. I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys can make some money with this. I say some of these trades, the beauty of them is they don't require the flea market. They just require higher vendors. It's another reason that it's important to get your vendors unlocked, because it gives you another source of cash flow that you don't have to worry about and you don't have to risk in raid. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. You'll see these videos right as I post them. I'll try to keep them regular as I can, and then you guys can take advantage of them before anybody else finds them. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and are making money in Tarkov.